Good morning. Happy Monday. Monday Mojo time again. I'm here with you. Gotta be honest, not feeling quite on top of it today. Got a bit of a dodgy tummy. Not feeling so great. So we'll see how we go and how long I can sit in front of the computer for. Not the best way to start, sorry. But yeah, just not feeling quite right. It's been tricky getting ready. So, but I have braved a coffee, so we'll see how that goes. Hi, Linda. Got a little job in a charity shop trial run today, but we'll catch up later. Oh, good luck, Linda. I hope it goes well. How is this? Oh, good morning, Mary. Might be okay. Otherwise, I'll just sip my water. Not feeling quite right. Abby. Hi, Abby. Good morning, Francis. Good morning, Jane. Oh, it's nice to have you in today. Last week was an odd one, wasn't it? It was really, really quiet early on, and I thought nobody's coming. And this week, you're all in at kickoff, which is great. So, what's the plan? I was going to change my necklace because this is the workshop I did last week. But whilst we were doing the workshop, I made a version in this colour, and I think it's really pretty. Look at that. It's very bridal, isn't it? Get it in the right way. Look at that. It's so pretty. So pretty. I'm really pleased with it. I never did it in the pearls before, shell pearls, but it looks so nice. Very pleased with that. So I think that will be going in the shop later. And if I get a chance, maybe up on Etsy. Who's been checking out my Etsy page? Anybody? Anybody seen it? It's I think it looks really nice. I'm really pleased with it. It's looking nice. I just need to get more traffic, more people in to have a look and see how it goes. But I think the purchase function for workshops is much smoother, and there's not as many hiccups for people. What's wrong, Gem? I got a bit of a bad tummy and headache. Not feeling quite right. It's been not quite right today. I'm not feeling quite myself, a bit scared to eat or drink anything, that sort of feeling. But we're going to try and do our best. I've got the mystery mini makes set up next to me. I've got lots to prepare for this week, so it's going to be a busy week. So I've got to get on with it. No lying around and lounging around for me. Thanks, Jane. Yeah, thanks, Abby. It's lovely, isn't it? I was coming home from the fairy festival. How did it go, Jane? I didn't see any pictures. Have you put any pictures up? How did it go? No, Abby, I just sipping water and it'll pass, I'm sure. Oh, it was fabulous. Oh, good. Was it successful from a sales point of view? I bet so many people loved your stuff. Hi, Bridget. Very. Oh, good. Oh, Jane, that's so good. Oh, I'm so pleased for you. Oh, very, very good. I'm very pleased for you. Amazing. What lovely news, because you've done so much preparation for it and you've been so looking forward to it. So I'm so glad it went well. So Jane did a fairy festival. You've got another one coming up, haven't you? On last weekend. And and you've been sort of making lots of beautiful pieces, really you've really been able to run wild with your imagination, haven't you? Like ear cuffs and crowns and wands and all sorts lovely, mystical, whimsical pieces. So you've been making like crazy. So I'm really glad it's paid off for you, Jane, and hopefully the next one will be just as wonderful. Very excited for you. Well done. Please send some photos because I haven't seen the photos yet. I'm doing Ren Fair in September. Ren Fair. Does that sound for something, or is it something I should know what a Ren Fair is? I don't know. And where is it, Jane? Let us all know. Maybe we can all come. Renaissance Fair. Right. So similar, I suppose, similar vein, really. Is that sort of floral, fairy-like, whimsical. Oh, that sounds lovely. Sounds lovely. Good morning, Sylv. How are you? I finished my necklace, look. I finished the earrings too, but I better not put them on if I'm going to sell them. So here are the earrings. How did you get on with yours? I bet you made 20, haven't you, already? Wendy, hi, Gemma. I'm kind of near your hometown of Gloucester. I'm on my way to Sue's craft retreat. Oh, have a wonderful time, Wendy. Oh, yeah, if I was down that way, but I'm not. I do need a trip down there to see my family. I have my brother's the three oldest, my brother's three oldest coming next week for a week, which I can't wait. I'm very excited. So they're coming down to stay with us. So we're now planning all the things that we're going to try and do with them, all the things that don't cost too much money and they don't have to travel too far. Oh, it's in Kent. Jane's Renaissance Fair is in Kent, about 4.5 hours from home. Oh God. Oh, Wendy. Yeah, lots of. Oh, I hope you have the wonderful time. You will have a wonderful time. It's a fantastic retreat. You've been dog walking, so no crafting. Yes, Sylvia's been being very neighbourly and helping out her poorly neighbour walking the dog. So you've been getting all your steps in, haven't you, Sylv? No time for crafting. Yeah. Our Willow takes a lot of walking. A lot of walking. Although yesterday she was so hot and she spent all day in the garden with us that she actually didn't really want to go anywhere last night. She just wanted to do a dinner and go to bed. So, oh, Wendy. Hi, darling Sylvia to Wendy. Yeah, yesterday Chris and I got stuck in the garden. Now, it was a bit of it. I told you last week the tree was coming down, didn't I? So the big tree came down and it's left this massive space. It's almost like we've got another garden, and Chris wants his greenhouse to go up. So we spent the afternoon yesterday digging, and I mean hard digging. Chris's hands looked like one big blister because he had to get massive tree stumps out and digging up, moving beautiful plants that are there you don't want to lose, moving them to a different place. So we spent a lot of time heavy digging, moving. I think I moved about 40 plants. I cleared one bed, put 40 plants in there, then dug a hole for the hydrangea, which Chris got out, which was hard work. So we had a real hard day grafting yesterday, even taking up turf and relining the beds. Oh gosh, it was a lot, but what a lovely sense of satisfaction that physical work gives you. It has been a lot of mental work recently, as in not it's been mental, lots of work involving your brain thinking, but to do work involving your body, physical work. Although I don't feel great today, I don't think that's got anything to do with it. That physical tired that you get, not mentally tired, it's physically tired. It was so nice, such a nice relax after doing all that work. We just sat and had a glass of wine in the garden and just chilled out, admiring the space that we created. I mean, there's no greenhouse up yet, but the space is there and the ground is almost leveled, ready to go. So very exciting. And then, of course, next week is the bank holiday weekend. I won't be with you next Monday, by the way, just because I have children here and we have the shop closed on bank holiday Monday, which means that we can do jobs in the shop that we can't usually do when it's open. So because we have 2 days with it closed, we can actually paint the floor. And so we're going to do that. So we're going to be very, very busy. So the kids are going to be here and we're going to be trying to paint the floor. It will be fun, but it's taking the opportunity to use those 2 days together. So watch this space. It's all very exciting. We've got everything ready now to go. What is it saying here? We are painting Dad's bench, still not finished. Yeah, it's these jobs take longer than you think, don't they? I'm hoping it helps with my fitness. Well, I'm sure it will, Sylv. I'm sure it will. We did a big walk Saturday, a massive hill. We did the same one a few weeks ago, and it was much harder the first time than it was the second time. We keep going out when it's cool, thinking that's nice, it's cool enough to go for a nice, walk and take the dog. And then we get out, and suddenly the sun comes out. You're like, oh my gosh, it's so hot. Have a great time, Wendy, says Sylv. Jane, my new neighbour has been trying to dig out his garden, and I know our garden was hard, but his is way more work than ours. It's difficult, isn't it? Difficult to watch, but at least like when you've got neighbours, you can sort of prepare them a little bit and say the soil's a bit like this or the soil's a bit like that. I mean, luckily it's been so dry for the last 3 months. The soil is pretty crumbly, it's not sodden, it's a lot. It was pretty difficult. Chris got this tree out. I don't know how he did it. I couldn't even lift the wrecking bar he was using, let alone actually swing it and push it into the ground. He did so well, but his hands are so sore today. He did really well. He did a really good job. And yeah, we've got a space now to put the greenhouse, which is another job. I'm not sure I want to build a greenhouse with him. We're not the most compatible when it comes to building flat pack. Let's say that. So I also have my first in-person mini workshop on Thursday, so that's exciting. I'm off to Driffield to deliver a taster session. So these are people that have never made jewellery, never done any wire work, and it's a way of promoting that I'm doing workshops. So the aim is that I get a booking from it to go and do a full workshop with these lovely ladies. So the other day, actually, Sylvia reminded me of a technique that I had shown her on one of the first visits I did up to Spoilt Rotten Beads, and it's perfect. I've been painting over what shall I do with them? What shall I do? But this is perfect. But actually, I've got loads more of these things coming up. So, has anybody got any ideas what to do for a complete newbie that doesn't involve a lot of materials? Because I'm doing these things for free, so not free, but for a small fee, and so I can't really provide a lot of materials because that'll cost me too much money. So any ideas? I thought rings are good. Rings are good, and what else is good? Because they only take one bead generally and a bit of wire. This flower technique, which I've also put in my mini mystery makes, so you might pick it out today, you never know. Earrings, yeah, earrings are quite good, but they're very basic, aren't they? It's not really, you don't really get that sense of I made that. Do you know what I mean? Maybe you do if you've never done it before. Maybe I'm just being a bit too ambitious. Something that you think, oh, I didn't think I'd be able to do that. So let me know. Let me know. Abby, I've sent you a message about that the Thursday morning. I've sent you a message on Messenger. Have a look. Because I need it. I spoke to you I sent it last week. A pendant, yeah, some sort of pendant spiral thing that might be quite nice, mightn't it? It's a bead at the center. Yeah, actually, my mini mystery make box is probably the perfect place to really look for inspiration for it. But yeah, a small pendant, bit of wiggly wire that you hammer maybe. Yeah, handbag charms, key rings can be good. Yep. Okay, Abby. All right. Yeah, have a look, and I'll get in contact with you after the live. Yeah, that's a good idea. Handbag charms and key rings. I suppose it's a bit more unisex as well, isn't it? Anyway, I do have the perfect one now. Thanks to Sylv, reminded me of it, and I would do that one. But yeah, I am looking for more ideas because I have a few of these events coming up. Yeah, and of course, got to start thinking about Christmas. I just suddenly realised we were, getting things ready in the shop, and we have a good relationship with another local village shop, much bigger than ours, do a lot more things, and they have a cafe as well. And they've asked for a sort of Christmas collection of jewellery for their shop. So I'm starting to think about Christmas jewellery, and then I started to realise actually we need to be thinking about Christmas in the shop as well. So it's like you have to start these things a lot earlier than I usually leave it. So we're now thinking about Christmas. Sylvia, what about the earrings with bell makers step 2 and 6 to make the 8, then reverse? Yes, that's a really nice one, Sylvia. The only problem I've got with that is I don't have 10 pairs of those pliers. So it's great if you're doing like a 1-to-1, or I've got 2 or 3 people in a group, but I've got 12. So it needs to be something I have 12 of. I have 12 sets of standard tools. So yeah, but there's a lot of things I think, oh, that'd be nice to do, and then I think I haven't got 12 of those tools, or even enough to like share one between 2. So yeah, I think on that though. I've got a big bruise on my elbow. I don't know if you can see it out yet, but I just put my elbow down and realised yesterday I filled the green bin up, the green bin for the garden waste, and I'd taken down this shrub, and it's got big, thick stalk. No, it wasn't a shrub, it was hollyhocks. Taking down the hollyhocks, put it in the green bin, and it was overlapping the side. So I got the spade and I went like that into the bin, and the stem broke, but the other side of the stem came up and whacked me on the back of the elbow. Oh, it didn't have hurt. And it doesn't hurt to move now, but I just put my elbow, oh, can't do that. Halloween first. Yes, Jane, Halloween. Not sure what to do about Halloween. It's a dodgy one, isn't it? It's a dodgy one because it sometimes can be offensive for people or scary. So yeah, we're thinking on maybe going more harvest pumpkin vibe, like a gentle Halloween. Obviously with spiders and cauldrons, but you got to go a little bit, be a bit sensitive, I think. I don't know. My dad did a painting that I found. He used to do boards, boards for outside the shop. And he did this painting, and it's absolutely amazing. Completely not in the style of my dad's usual painting, but he's very talented. And it's a skull and quite a scary face and a cobweb all over it and a big spider. It's absolutely brilliant. It's such a great painting. But I said to him, I can't believe you put that out in Bugthorpe. It's really scary. It's a really scary picture. But he says he's going to sell it on eBay. So I think he should, because it's a brilliant picture. Pumpkins, bats, and cauldron. Yeah, I mean, there's, and I was thinking maybe even Mexican Day of the Dead, because that can be quite pretty as well, can't it? And not just scary. And it's got that same sort of the day that the dead can wake sort of feel to it, or you can communicate with them. So yeah, so we'll go with that. It is awesome, Abby. You like that idea? Yeah. Okay. Oh, good. Oh, well, we're getting our juices fired up, our creative juices fired up. I have workshops booked in. I've moved a couple of workshops. So this is something for Abby. I'm moving a couple of workshops, and I'm repeating this one. So if anybody would like to do this one, and only because I had a lot of people wanted to do it, but couldn't come on that day because they're on holiday or they've got grandkids. So I'm repeating this workshop next month. But all my workshops now will be booking through Etsy. You can still go to my website, and when you click on the picture of the workshop and the description, everything is there. But when you click on it, it will take you to an Etsy page where you can then sort of pay and download the link, and I'm hoping that will alleviate any of the problems that people have been having, and also make the process a bit smoother for me and for you. It's trial, so we'll see how it goes. There are a few problems with it so far, my end, not on the user end, but I'll keep you posted, because I know a lot of you use Etsy for your sales or are thinking about having an Etsy shop. So I'll let you know how my journey with Etsy goes, because I've very mixed reviews about it, but I thought it was worth a try for me at the moment. Oh, good. Yeah, I knew there were a few people, Francis, that said they wanted to do it. So I'll be putting this one on again. I haven't looked at the calendar and coordinated with Chris yet, but it will be September. Good morning, Tony. How are you? Yes, so this one again, Dalietta Surprise. And this is the other version of it, which, it just shows how different they look in different colorways. So there's this one. I'm going to do an oxidized copper one as well, just so that you can see the difference. But it's, they look so different, don't they? This looks very bridal. I think this would be a popular bridal design, actually, because it's very subtle. Or you can go with the three connected together. And I think that would also be quite bridal. And you can obviously scale it down or scale it up. Very pretty. Oh, and I bought something new. I thought I'll try them, see how it goes. Unfortunately, it doesn't fit into my light box, but I bought one of these. Show you how it looks. And I think I'm just going to position it so that it's easy for you to see. It's a bit small. No, that's not going to work. Hold on. It's great viewing, isn't it? You fancy an 8 this week? Yeah, that's good. That's good. Mary, get us started with our votes for which tutorial you'd like this week. So Mary's going for a number 8. Do you know what? I think I'm starting to feel better. I think you might have made me feel better, guys. Thank you. So I bought this one to display. And doesn't she look lovely? It just really elevates. I really, really like this bust. It looks nice, doesn't it? Just looks really elegant. So gorgeous. Does look nice, isn't it? Yeah, I'm really pleased with it. So I'm thinking, I can't really afford to get lots to put on display, but I think if I just buy one every now and again, then I will use those as my display from now on, because the jewelry just looks elevated on it. So I've ordered one in black as well, so that I can have the 2 colors for photography and a bigger light box, because it doesn't actually fit in my light box, unfortunately. And then hopefully it look really, really lovely. And I wonder whether you can get these bigger, actually, because they would look, I think, like when I'm doing pieces like this, real statement slab pieces, you want it to look elegant, don't you? Yeah, it's good that it shows the earring as well in situ, so you can see the sort of length of the dangle. I wish I had a nice neck like hers, don't you? Nice slender neck. I have neck envy. Anyway, so that's this is all things that are happening. Right, what else? Have I got anything else? No, I would like some votes. I would like your votes, please, from number 1 to 10, so that I can give you a tutorial from my little box. I did put a couple of new ones in. Right, so Wendy wants a 2, 8 for Mary. 8 for Mary. 5 for Tony. 2 for Sylv. 2 for Francis. Silver, have you seen the box? I know what's in box 2. And add a 5 for Abby, of course, a 5 for Abby. 5 for Abby. What else? What else can I tell you? Well, I've had the commission in. It's a really unusual commission. It's a very symbolic pair of earrings that somebody wants. And I do like, you know, somebody trying to bring about a meaningful piece. I love that design process and that problem solving. And I have looked, so this person would like a hoop or a circle as a dangle, and they would like a cube at the center, but this is very symbolic of something in their life. I don't actually know the full details, but there's lots of other elements that need to go in, and there are birthstones that can be incorporated. But this cube, this corner drilled cube, has had me boggled, because I'm thinking, right, she would like it to be either in precious metal or gemstone, or, you know, just not, she doesn't want a plastic cube, for example, and she doesn't want something necessarily, it doesn't have to be solid either. So I've been puzzling and painting. How can I make this? I've been looking for sterling silver cube elements. I've been looking for corner drilled cubes, because actually Swarovski crystal was also an option, especially with the sort of rainbow aura coating. So I'm looking for those, but they're not big enough. They're too small. So I've been going over and over, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? And then I was chattering about it with Sylv, actually, on the workshop. Sylvia again, lots of inspiration from Sylv. I think I should have paid you for that workshop instead, Sylv. So after a bit, suddenly it hit me. I can create one with bugle beads, and they can be in either, you know, glass, seed bead, bugle bead material, or I could make them out of sterling silver tube. So I have made a little 3D cube, very roughly, just literally just before we came live, so I can suspend it from the corner. And I just did it with the ladder stitch, you know, the ladder weave. So I'm being nosy who's coming in the shop. Somebody I've never seen. So yeah, so I got a cube. I've made a cube, and this is ideal because I can set something in there as well. So this, I think, is the winner, the winning solution. But it's taken me ages. I've been painting over this for weeks. I'm thinking, what have I got? What can I make? What can I do? How do I do that? And there it is. So obviously it needs to be bigger, because the outside ring is about, the outside loop is about 50 pence size. So what's that? 30 mil round. Yeah, about 30 mil. So this needs to sit sort of inside it so that the corners are almost touching. So I've got to make it a bit bigger, but this is the solution. I found it. So I was chuffed with that. You've got carnelian cubes. I love a cube. I've got some humongous agate cubes, absolutely gorgeous. The right size actually, but they're just not corner drilled. And it just won't hang in the symbolic way in which this person wants it to work. So I can't use that. Bridget, you'd like a 3. I've missed your comments. I have that bust in both black and white. Use them a lot for website displays. Yes, Jean, I think that's it. It just looks so classy, doesn't it? They're really nice. Cat sat on the keyboard. I wonder what all the pluses were. Still brilliant, Bridget. I have carnelian cubes. I bet they're nice. I've got loads of cubes, just all the wrong orientation, or the wrong size. You know, nothing. The perfect thing would be a sort of 14, 15 mil cube, corner drilled Swarovski. That would be the perfect thing, with an aura coating. You know, the beautiful rainbow coating. That would be the perfect thing, but they don't exist, or I can't find them if they do. So if you know of anywhere I can get those, actually it doesn't have to be Swarovski. It can be a check glass or a Chinese crystal, it doesn't matter. But if you've seen any anywhere, please let me know, because I think that would be the perfect thing. But second to perfect is this idea that I've had. So I'm pretty pleased with that. Don't charmers drill gems? They do, but a gemstones that size as well would also be too heavy, because, you know, if I wanted something that size, it'd be very heavy to have in the ear, with the other elements I have to go in as well. So I don't think it would work. But yeah, of course, that is always an option, which is brilliant. But yeah, it won't be right for this. Anyway, I do have the solution now, so I'm very pleased with that. I think she will be very pleased too, especially as I can encapsulate something in the center of it, which will be lovely and very symbolic, which is exactly what she wanted. All right, any more votes for any more? Any more for any more? I've got a few new ones in the pot this week. Just wait. I can imagine you all sat there thinking, I'm sure I've got some cubes like that. Jean, you would like an 8. Hello, Jean. You would like box number 8 today? Any more votes? Got my little box sat here ready. There's a few different ones in here this week, and I'm worried I don't have all the materials around me. 5 for Barbara. Hi, Barbara. Thanks for your vote. Oh, have you noticed the robins are back? I don't know if any of you have lost your robins over the summer. Birds, I mean. Our robins are back. Well, they're my dad's robins, but they're come back to us. Tony, I was thinking, what do I have in my non-gemstone box of beads? I thought I knew you would be, you helpful bunch. And when you guys asked me about something like that, I think, I'm sure I've got something somewhere. Now, I'm absolutely certain I had some quite stylized cube silver beads, sterling silver, and they sort of had slightly convex sides, and the edges were joined, but not the whole thing. So they were slightly puffy. And they would have been ideal, but I cannot find them. I must have used them in something and can't remember. I do that a lot. I'm so forgetful these days. It's all the butterflies that I love. Yeah, the butterflies, they love the gardens, don't they? Certain flowers they love. Verbena, I've realized. Some plants we walk past in the garden, it's just they buzz. They literally are buzzing. The whole plant is buzzing. It's lovely. Lots of flowers going over now, though. So looking forward to the autumn interest. See what that brings. There's so many lovely butterflies. And unusual moths. We've had like the life cycle of one particular moth. I've told you, haven't I, with the unusual caterpillar, and now it's laid eggs. We can't use the door because it's there. So it's been nice to watch the life cycle. Something really inspired me yesterday. I'll try and get a photo for you for Mojo. There's a tree called a smoke bush. It's got another name, Chris knows it, a Latin name, but it's commonly known as the smoke bush. And it's like, I suppose its predominant colour is maroon, burgundy, maroon, very deep. But its other colours go almost seamlessly from lime, like a dark olive green, through to a fiery orange, and then this deep red, and it just sort of blends through. And I sat there yesterday looking at it, and the light coming through, it was beautiful. I keep thinking, how do you capture that? How, and obviously you can capture it with some sort of color palette, but you can't capture that shift of color It's so beautiful how it does it seamlessly from green to red without, you know, to dark red without it feeling like a contrast. It's a very, very amazing. It's a bit like citrine, where it goes from purple to yellow, but you don't really notice the stark contrast, even though they're completely opposite on the color wheel. And I find that fascinating, how the color shifts like that and how to create that. Because when you do it with paint, you end up with a muddy brown in the middle, don't you? And when you do that with gemstones, it's stark. It's one color and another color. But actually having that seamless merge, very difficult to achieve. So yeah, so that was something else that was puzzling my creative brain yesterday, how to capture these color shifts without looking like there's contrast. Very odd, isn't it? Did I put you down? I did put you down for a 5, Barbara. I was thinking, what do I have? Oh, it's all Joe. Hi, all, number 5, please. Lovely necklace, Jen. That's Circis, I think. Oh, the tree. It's not Circis. I would know it if I heard it. Cotinus? That's ringing a bell. But I'll put you down for number 5, Joe. The overlay of veils of colour is amazing, but that is what nature always achieves. Yeah, that's it. It just can't beat it, can you? So sometimes you think, I'm not going to try, because I won't come up trumps with that one. Cotinus. Yes, cotinus. Just sent 2 pictures on Messenger. Glass crystal beads, 10mm on eBay. Ooh, well, that might work. I know Sil will be frantically checking in the background. Find these with the bugle beads, then would be 15mm. Ooh, oh, they're nice. 10 pieces, 10mm cube. That might work. It's a bit small. I think they might be a bit small. I think that's the problem, because I wouldn't cage those. I found 10mm aura, you know, the clear on Etsy, but with the lovely rainbow coating. Hello, ma'am. Good morning. How are you? Found these with the bugle beads, then would be 15mm. Yeah, not sure about that one. Then I have to get the right size bugles. Yeah, but thanks, so Sylph. But I think the 10mm, if I could get those in a 15mm, perfect. So there you go. There's your mission. How you doing, Mum? Everybody say hello to Mum. Andrew Turner is not Andrew Turner. That is Sherry James, my mum. Nice to see you, Mum. And Joe, by the way, this necklace that you like, this will be a workshop next month. I did it the other day, but there was lots of people that couldn't and missed out. So I'll be putting this one in next month. This is a layered Dahlietta surprise, I call it, because it looks a bit like the variety of dahlia that is layered like this. So it looks a bit like that. So that's what I called it. Hi, Gemma's mum, says Francis. Thumbs up under the video. Yes, you can give me a thumbs up. That really helps. Still saying hi. Right then. So in terms of votes for your mini mystery make today, I have lots of votes for number 5. So shall we delve in? I feel like play school at this point. You know, you go, let's go through window, the square window. But we're going to go to box number 5. Here we go. Box number 5. Now then, let's get this out. So, funnily enough, Abby, it always is a little bit serendipitous, this, isn't it? So, funnily enough, Abby talked about loving all the butterflies and chose box number 5. And here I have a pair of butterfly wing earrings. So here they are. This is what I'm going to show you how to do today, or something along these lines. Oh, I'll double check, Abby. Maybe I've sent it wrong, or I sent it from the wrong. Because I'm switching between lots of profiles at the moment, so I might have sent it from a different profile. It might have gone into a different file, maybe. I don't know. I'll have another look, Abby, but I'll get hold of you after the show, okay? After today. Right, so here they are. And the reason they're in here is not necessarily for the specific design, although they're kind of cool. It's for the fact that they are symmetrical and handed. Okay, so it's creating symmetrical designs and handed designs. I'm going to have to remember how I did these. I put these things in a box and think, oh, that'll be good. And then you pick them out and I haven't prepped. So let me just have a look how this works. Start there, go up there, down, down, up, down, up. It can't be that hard. Let's have a go. Right, I'm going to move the camera and then you can have a closer look while I puzzle it out. I know how the technique will work when I show you how to do two things together. I just can't remember how the actual wing works, but we'll get there. Right, I think it's this way up. Yes, this way up. Put the camera on here. Here we go. I just got to wrap it round a bit so that it stays put. The vice thing doesn't work. So let's go. There we go. Let's try that. This way. So you can see here I've got handed butterfly wings. So the nice thing about these, you can make a couple and you can put them together, tessellate them to make, pendants with just unusual shapes. Butterfly wings, you put them this way, it looks more moth-like, doesn't it? It's quite a nice shape. Have it up that way, up that way. Loads and loads of options to use these beautiful shapes. And you don't have to stick with my shape. You can create other shapes. Now, I think when I did these, actually, I may have used a jig, thinking about it now. But that doesn't matter. We can do it without a jig. So I'm going to use these pliers, round nose, bail makers, flat nose, and chain nose. One or the other or both is ideal to have both, really. And then I'm going to need some 1mm wire, which I don't have on my desk. So bear with me. Right, we're going to go for black wire, and then it's nice and easy for you to see as well. You find doing opposites really difficult. Well, this might help then, Jane. So I'm going to take a nice long length because it goes up and down a lot, and I don't want to work from the reel because I need to work with double wire. So I'm going to cut about, I don't know, what's this, 60 centimeters of wire, and I'm going to cut two lengths the same. So there's one. And two. So two lengths, two equal lengths of wire. This is probably going to be plenty, maybe even too much wire, but better to have a bit more, and you can trim it off and use it for making connectors and things like that another time. So first thing we're going to do is pop a loop, pop a spiral at the center here, and that's going to be the middle of our wing, and then we're going to build the wing around it. Now don't get too caught up on this particular pattern, okay? It can be any pattern you want, but a good idea is to have something drawn out. If I take my sketch pad here, this is my new sketch pad. If you just think, right, I want my wing shape to be roughly like that. Okay, you don't have to be too caught up on it. And then this is a rough wing shape, and if you want a bit of an extra section, just draw it on. You might think, okay, I want like that, so just draw your rough shape, and then this will just help you not go too far off track, because it is easy to go off track when you're making wings and things like that. So we're going to start here in the middle, and basically this is going to be the silhouette, and whatever we do in the middle just helps everything link together. So we're going to use the two pieces of wire together. So starting, it's easier to do this with bell making pliers, because bell making pliers are straight, so they meet evenly all along, and your size of the loop that you create with them is equal. If you use round nose pliers, it's tapered, so even though it's very subtle, the loop on this side will be narrower than the loop on the other side. So if possible, use bell making pliers and both wires together. The other option, of course, is to use a bit of masking tape to keep them together, which you can remove later. That is quite a good option. So I'm going to make a loop at the center like that, both wires. See, even this one, this first bit, you may have to just help them out a bit, because the grip further in the pliers is tighter. So you see, I'm holding the pliers, holding the wires, but one can move and one can't. It's because they grip, you know, further down. Okay, so then from here, I am going to create a spiral. So again, making sure that you've got both of them together, hold them nice and tight, and create a spiral. So I'm gonna use a combination of my hands to help, and this isn't working very well. I'm not showing you right, I'm gonna start again, because that is not working very well. So let's go in here, grip it together, make that spiral in the center. Okay, so we've started it off. We're starting off with a nice spiral shape. That's going to be sort of the middle of our wing. So we've got both together, middle of the wing. Let's say that's going to sit sort of here, and then we can bring this wire up to the edge. And hold both wires together with your chain nose pliers and bend that back down. It's much easier when you're not trying to keep it under a camera. Put this out of the way. So here we go, we've got this shape. That's sitting quite nicely there. So now we can come out to the end. So we've decided we want our wing tip to be there. So I'm going to take my bell making pliers, choose the mandrel that sort of suits that tip best, bending both wires together, bring them back down. Let's just take it here to see. That's looking good. Okay, and then we've got a bit of a wiggly bit there. So make sure every time you bend the wires, make sure your last bends are together. Okay, don't worry about the first ones. They're going to come loose. But so as long as your last bend is together, just bring that one out and then bend it back in. Okay, so we can see we've got this shape forming like that. And then let's come back out for that one and back in for that one. There we go. We've got a wing shape. Now we might want to put a bit more detail in here. So we could, just to give us a few more spaces to fill with beads. So what I would suggest is, these gaps are quite large to fill with beads. So what I would suggest is, let's squeeze this so that that loop is almost touching the side and we can secure things to it there. And that leaves us a nice gap down here to bring our wire back down and back up to create the sort of loop that we can then use to connect it to an earring, etc. So I'm going to bend my wire back down on itself from here. Bend it back on itself all the way down like that. And then back on itself again up to the top, but make sure it sort of sits on the base of that wing there. So hold that bit and bring it back, pulling them back up. There we go. So now we've got this, and then our little loop will sit just there. So put that together, grab a hold of those two wires, twist them out to make a loop, and then use your bell makers just to create a loop that sits. There, we can cut that off. Okay, so now we've got two wings. They might be a bit intertwined. We've got two exactly the same because we've used the wires together. And then you can use them individually as earrings. And of course, you can just turn them around to make front and back. And you can fill these in with gemstones and beads or wire work, whatever you like. But first, let's just secure the framework together. So if you bind in this section here, just to keep everything together. So we're going to bind these. And it's a good idea to do this, even if it's a temporary bind while you put your beads in, because your beads will firm up the frame, but just to keep it in place while you do your beading. Okay, so let's squeeze that shut there. And then actually I want this one to come in and sit there. That's going to give me a bit of stability. So just bind in the places that really stabilize your design. Will stabilize your wing. So little offcuts of wire will do. I'm going to stabilize that one there as well. A couple of wraps will do it. And then maybe stabilize that loop to the top wing, to the top there. And to be honest, if you didn't want to do any more than that, but you could sort of just bind them in a few places, a bit neater, and have them as open frames. They don't have to be filled. And maybe you've got that like fantasy film. If you heard of that, it's like a film dip that you dip wire frames into, and it the film sort of stretches over the open spaces like a bubble and fills it. This is a really nice technique or a nice design to do that with. Okay, so that's that stabilized, and do the same with the other one, obviously. And then you can take things like bugle beads. I actually have these handy. That's good. Take things like bugle beads and sort of fill the space with wire, just spanning the sections, bugle beads or seed beads, whatever you fancy really. You could even create extra wire shapes and fill them in different places. But really the Mojo sort of mystery mini make this week is about creating handed and equal designs, and especially important for things like butterfly wings and anything where you want symmetry. This works really well. So I hope that was useful. Hope you can use that. Maybe Jane, I can see you enjoying that one, or your store people on your store holders enjoying that. And they're quite easy and quite quick. Of course, you can scale them up or scale them down. It's really up to you. But yeah, lots of opportunities with those. You could even stitch around the outside, or so many ways you can fill that in, isn't there? bugles are nice. They catch the light nicely, and also it's nice because they fill the space really quickly because they're long. So if I was doing this, just to let you know how I would do it, I would use a 0.4 wire, even finer maybe if you wanted to do more. Let's get some wire off here and show you. Attach your wire in, and I'll attach on the inside of the frame so there's nothing catchy on the outside. So attach the wire just with a couple of wraps to get you started. Okay, and you decide on a front and a back actually for this, because you want the beads to be at the front, so your wire wants to be sort of on the top to do your beading. So I'll turn this over because I attached it in the wrong way. Then thread on the number of beads that is required to span that gap. And this is also a great way of keeping symmetry as well, because if you know you've got 4 beads in there, you know the next one, if you 4 beads is what you need to fill that space. Now I've got a bit of a gap there, so it might be that I use something like a seed bead or something to fill it, to fill that space up a bit more. Maybe if I come round a bit, I can get an extra one in there. Yeah, I reckon. Let's see if I can get an extra bead. Let's see. Yeah, if I just move my wire along the frame a bit, I can get an extra bead in there. So then wrap the wire around the other side just once, and then bring that wire up the back. So don't bead the other side. So bring the wire up the back like that, across the back of the frame, and then back into where you want the next row of beads to be. Back into there. And then bead again down from here, so that the beads are sitting above the frame rather than behind it. Okay, so that one, maybe we get 4 beads on there. Let's try it. You can ombre these little packs of bugles, by the way. This was Spoilt Rotten Beads. It's a few years ago, but I wonder whether they still might do them. Really nice, and you get them in the seed beads in this color as well, which are really cute. So then this row can have 4. Go around, take the wire at the back, attach it ready for the next row, and do it like that. Okay, so the back you will actually have bare wires, but you won't see that from the front anyway. So through there, wrap it around, and then the next one. If you are a stitcher, if you like stitching, you like seed beads, doing beady designs, there's nothing to stop you doing this with fire line or something like that, and a needle, and going backwards and forwards through the beads with your needle. That would create, the beads to sit within the frame rather than the front or the back. So that would look really nice as well. And that would also mean you didn't have wires showing at all. So you could, of course, do that, which would look lovely. Okay, let's try. And then you just keep going until you filled the space with whatever colors or beads you want. They're really, really simple, but really effective. And of course you can make them a lot smaller than that. These are quite big. But actually I used the black wire, but the black frame for the butterfly wings works really well, doesn't it? They look really nice. So yeah, have them. That's quite a big pendant. That could almost be a mermaid tail as well, couldn't it? So there you go, loads of ways to use it, lots of opportunities, and I hope you can have fun with that little project. Let's move this camera back and I can say goodbye to you all. Ready? Back. Lead in front of my face. There you go. Right then. So hopefully you can have fun with that. Really like that. Good, Sil. Very clever. Thanks, Mary. That was fab. Thank you, says Tony. You're welcome. And hopefully, Jane, it's helped you. So it's like that book fold, isn't it? And of course, you could make one that's solid, not two separate pieces. So just bend the wire in half, and then when you open it out like a book, rather than putting the loop at the beginning, start it at the folded side, make your shape, and then open it, and then you'd have book match, they call it, don't they? Book match sides. So anyway, hopefully you can do something with that and have a play with it. Doesn't have to be butterfly wings, could be other things that need symmetry. What else? Trying to think now. All I can think of is wings. Think of anything else? Can't think of anything else that needs to be symmetrical. But even if you just want to make handed shapes for earrings, etc., or something that comes together in a pendant or for opposite sides to create balance, then that's a way of doing it. Just do the two wires together, and if you struggle to keep the wires together, just a bit of masking tape that you can just nip off after will really help. Okay, right then, guys, have a lovely week. I won't see you on Charmers tonight, nor next week, because I'm having a couple of weeks while we wait for the China delivery to come in, and then I can hopefully have some really lovely goodies for you with some new designs. But yeah, so you won't see me Charmers tonight or next week. Bank holiday, you won't even see me on Mojo because it's bank holiday. But if I get opportunity, I will pop in to say hi. Leaves, yes, leaves can be symmetrical. So I've got no workshops booked this week. The week after, I forgot, just so you know, tell you what I've got. I forget. Calendar. No workshops next week because I've got the little ones come in, but then the next one I've got is the 6th of September, which is a Saturday morning, and I'm doing the Egyptian necklace, the big collar piece. Actually, it's not here, it's actually in the shop on display, so that wasn't very well thought through, was it? So I've got that one, and then there will also be a woven bangle workshop, all on my website. Have a look, and the website will take you through to Etsy to purchase and to look at all the further details and videos, pictures, but you can see what's on there on my website. So I just put in www.gemmaCrow.com/workshops. Go and have a nosy, see if anything tickles your fancy, and then come and join me on a workshop. That'd be great. Other than that, I'll see you next Monday, same time on YouTube for another mystery mini make and a creative catch up. Okay, have a great week, everybody. Thank you, Jane. I will try to feel better. I'll see you very soon. Bye.